What is up, everyone? Welcome to a brand new Sweet Film Podcast. It's great to have everyone back here. We got a special guest. We got a great discussion today. And of course, without this, I got to talk about my great host, my other host in here, and that is Cody Curtis. How you doing today, man?
I'm doing fantastic, Zach. I'm super excited to be back here. It's been a few weeks, but we're excited to talk about. Guys, we got a great topic for today. We're going to be going over every single big blockbuster and maybe some of the indie films over the course of this summer movie season, because it looks pretty darn exciting. But before we get started with that, we just want to let you guys know that if you don't have time to watch or listen to this podcast right now, you guys can of course find it on both SoundCloud and on iTunes. It'll be up there shortly, so you'll be able to find the time to listen to it there, subscribe over there, and just enjoy the podcast. But without any further ado, it's time to introduce our guest. We got somebody special. He's a great friend of ours. He's a great YouTuber. You guys may know him as Jay 1% Vaters, but of course here we just know him as Jay Vaters. Jay, how are you doing today?
Hey, Jay Vaters in the house. Yes, I'm very happy to be on the podcast, guys. Yes, if you don't know me, check me out on Jay Vaters on YouTube, do top 10s, movie reviews, and a lot of rankings. Again, I have no life, do it all the time. So yeah, I'm excited to talk about some summer movies.
Hey, that's a great thing to say. I mean, do any of us really have lives anymore? I mean, after you kind of go into the YouTube atmosphere, is there really anything else in your life to do?
No, yeah, that's a really good point, because pretty much it's just grinding and hustling out content and giving stuff to people and trying to entertain people the best that you can. Or, of course, like we're about to do today, recommend movies that people should go see or ones that we're excited to go see. So, yeah. Zach, why don't we get started?
Yeah, that's true. This is going to be a longer kind of episode we're seeing. And of course, today we're talking the summer movie preview. Summer films are finally coming up, especially with next week. Deadpool 2 is coming out. So we thought this is going to be perfect. We're going to talk about all the summer movies coming out, some smaller, some of the bigger ones. Of course, it's going to be fun, guys. And I think where we should really start first is just say, okay, do we count Avengers in the summer this year? Or did it release 1 week early before it hit summer? I don't count it as a summer film, to be honest. It's going to be in the summer, but...
I agree. I don't think we should count it as a summer movie. However, I think we should all give a strong recommendation, because if you guys don't know, everyone who is on this podcast right now, we all pretty much loved it. So, yeah, if you haven't seen Avengers Infinity War, no spoilers, of course, you need to go see it as soon as you can.
Yeah. So Jay, you got anything to say about Avengers?
Yeah. Do you think it'll reach $2 billion worldwide in the box office?
That's a good question.
So to be honest, yes, because I don't think it's hit China yet, and it's already I think almost at 1.6.
Yeah.
So
Zach's
If
absolutely.
I'm not wrong, I'm pretty sure it's supposed to hit 1.6 by this weekend of when we're recording. So yeah, it's gonna hit $2 billion. I think it has a possibility to beat Titanic. I don't think it'll be Avatar though. Avatar was out for a whole entire year, and that's like the most crazy thing is, like, think about it. It came out in December and literally did not leave the box office till like November of next year.
Damn.
So
you know what? Speaking of that, yeah, I got a fun idea. How about with each major blockbuster that we talk about during the summer movie season? How about we give just a quick guess at what we think the box office is going to be for that weekend? What do you guys think?
Oh, so opening weekend. I'm down for that. And I guess going with that, we should talk about Deadpool 2, my most anticipated film of the year.
Never heard of it.
Oh, well.
Oh, that's too bad.
But Deadpool 2, I mean, Deadpool 1 is actually my top 15 films of all time. It's one of the most entertaining, one of the most energetic films I've ever watched. It blew all my expectations away. And being a huge Deadpool fan, it gave me everything I wanted. Deadpool 2, I am still on the hesitant side. I am seeing it today, which, thank God, I hope it lives up to my expectations. But Deadpool 2, for some reason, I just, as much as it looks amazing, I love the trailers. I love the marketing. I actually think all these trailers look better than the first one. Something still making me hesitant is that, will this be an Iron Man 2? Are they just trying to set up X-Force? I don't know. I'm still really excited to see Deadpool 2. I mean, Cable, Josh Brolin, fucking Domino looks awesome. Domino, I think, will be my absolute standout, and also motherfucking Peter in that trailer. Peter is like my favorite thing to ever happen in any movie. But tell me, what do you like, Jay? What are you thinking about Deadpool 2? Do you think it's gonna beat the first one's expectations? Do you think it's gonna be better? What are you thinking?
I don't think so, because the first Deadpool was something very special because he was ruined in Origins Wolverine.
Yeah.
And and when that footage was leaked before the movie and stuff, we're like, oh my god, this is Deadpool. And then when they finally came out with the movie, and then when the trailer dropped, I'm like, this is gonna be amazing, and it was fantastic. It's a movie I always wanted. I never thought we would ever get a Deadpool movie, but we got it and it was fantastic. Deadpool 2 looks amazing. It looks so good. I don't know if it'll have the same magic as the first one. I don't know if it'll be as funny as the first one. It almost has the same plot as Terminator 2, but if they if they joke about that, it's gonna be funny.
I think they will. I think they will.
Yeah. I'm curious about the story. Like, he's trying to save like this little kid. Like, Cable's trying to kill this little kid. I wonder if this kid is supposed to be like the villain or anything. Maybe that's why he's trying to kill the little kid.
What if this kid is like Dr. Sinister?
That
you know what this actually, the more I think about it, the more I think of his plot, it sounds like a mixture of Terminator 2 meets Looper in a sense.
Yes.
But
read the synopsis for it.
I will say, I'll say, yeah, read the synopsis in a sec. What I'll say about Deadpool 2 is I'm excited, number one, because David Leitch is taking over the helm. And the reason why I'm excited for him is, although I didn't love the movie Atomic Blonde, which was his directorial debut besides John Wick, as far as I know, singular debut, the action in Atomic Blonde was some of the best action that we got last year. So we know that the action scenes inside Deadpool 2 are going to be great. The thing I'm nervous about, though, is I'm really, really nervous about the script. But other than that, I couldn't be more excited.
Yeah, no. So here's the synopsis, guys. So after surviving a near-fatal bovine attack, a disfigured cafeteria chef, Wade Wilson, struggles to fulfill his dreams of becoming a Mayberry's hottest bartender, while also learning to cope with his lost sense of taste. Searching to regain his spice for life, as well as a flux capacitor, Wade must battle ninjas, the Yakuza, a pack of sexually aggressive canines, as he journeys around the world to discover the importance of family, friendship, and flavor, finding a new taste for adventure and earning the Covenant Coffee Mug title of World's Best Lover. And here's the synopsis. And that is great.
That sounds like my kind of movie.
I'm going to tell you right now. First of all, Jay's right. That sounds like a fantastic movie. But it also plays into the fact that Ryan Reynolds and the entire team behind Deadpool, the way they market themselves is genius. I mean, immediately after
story, I think that's one of my favorite trailers of all time.
It absolutely is. And if we just look at just a few days ago, immediately following Infinity War, we got that letter from Kevin Feige thanking all the fans who allowed Infinity War to become the biggest blockbuster to ever hit the earth at this point, opening weekend. And then the marketing behind Deadpool 2 came out, and they basically sent a letter demanding silence and demanding no spoilers for Deadpool 2, basically thanking all the fans who loved it in pure Deadpool fashion. I mean, the marketing is just genius.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, this is literally it's the easiest character to market in all the best ways. I think that we can all agree on that. Like the trailers, the Celine Dion thing. Oh my god, I was howling at that song.
Yeah, I was just about to mention that. Like that killed me. That was funny.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just great. Now, before we get to like what the box office will be, I want to propose one more question to you guys for Deadpool 2, because I actually do have a theory on this.
Sure.
Will Hugh Jackman show up?
I'm gonna say yes. Because here's the thing. We remember when everybody went to see Logan for the first time. First of all, great movie. Right before it, though, we had that little Deadpool 2 teaser. And that led me to believe, if Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman were getting together to just put that little teaser at the beginning before Logan, why on earth would they not take the opportunity, even if he wasn't going to appear as Logan in Deadpool? Why wouldn't they take the chance to include Hugh Jackman for like a 2-minute cameo? Well, I mean, it'd be a lost opportunity.
Well, have you guys seen the Twitter? On Hugh Jackman's Twitter, he actually posted a video last week of him singing Happy Birthday, and Deadpool is in the suit behind him, interrupting him.
Oh. Yeah.
So, damn. I mean, I think they're hinting at it, and for me, this is actually going to be my theory. Wolverine. It's when he's setting up the X-Force team, and this is like a complete wild theory. class. I think Wade is gonna walk in with Weasel. They're gonna walk into the bar. He's gonna be drinking or smoking, and they're gonna ask him to be a part of X Force, and he's gonna tell them to fuck off. Just exactly from First Class, and then he's gonna walk out, and that's it. It's something small for a callback for First Class, but it also works for the character. And Deadpool can make some joke about it. But I want to hear, Jay, what do you think? Do you think this could happen? Do you think there is a possibility that our beautiful Hugh Jackman Aussie friend with the nice things down under are going to be here?
I was gonna say no originally. You guys are almost convincing me yes, but I was gonna say no because it's something I want and I never get what I want. So I just seem to roll with that. Every time I want something, like it just never happens. So I'm just like, yeah, it's something I want and it can happen. But that you guys kind of convinced me that he might actually show up as a cameo. That cameo, like an X-Men First Class sort of cameo, that'd be really, really funny. Actually, I'd be like, yes.
See, and I think he will show up. I think it's gonna be one of those small surprises, and I think I would literally be disappointed if he doesn't show up just for 1 second. Just for 1 second.
Absolutely, and it's funny with the marketing team. When we were hearing about this.
The poster from the studio that killed Wolverine. They're literally playing off this.
Missed opportunity. Here's the thing, though. I mean, when they were advertising that they were going to have this, they literally came out and said, guys, there's going to be a giant cameo inside of Deadpool 2. And what is the first thing that everybody thinks of when they think of Deadpool and when they think of cameos? It's like Wolverine.
Okay, yes. Wolverine.
Hey, maybe it's Gambit. I mean, we've all been waiting for that.
Maybe that Jubilee actress that was barely in Apocalypse. Maybe she'll be in it.
But yeah, no, I think so. Going from here, what's everyone's figures for opening weekend for Deadpool 2?
Opening weekend, the predictions right now is that Deadpool 2 is going to be making around 140 to 150 million. But I think. Honestly, I'm taking this from the point of view of the Star Wars effect, the Marvel effect, even the Wolverine effect. When something comes out and it is so beloved by people, no matter what the rating is. Look, Deadpool 2, it's a rated R movie. Deadpool 2, rated R last year, made 150 million. Deadpool 2, I feel, is going to do better than the first one did because it's just so beloved by so many people. I don't think it's going to make as much as it did as the first one did. I do think it's going to make a little bit over. So I'm going to say around $165 to $170 million opening weekend. What about you, Jay?
So you want domestic gross and worldwide or just domestic?
Just domestic.
I think you'll cross the 100 million. I'm guessing like 115, about 115, 120. So that's my ballpark.
All right. So I'm going to say this. I do think ratings do have a factor in this. I think if it's certified fresh, easily it'll go 155. 155 opening. Not certified, 120.
Interesting.
That's where I'm going at. Because the last one made around 120 without that fourth day counted in. So I'm having a feeling that that's how they're going to go with this. But I mean, the trailers have gotten everyone stoked. A lot of the theaters near me are already sold out. So we just got to cross our fingers and hope. But from then on, guys, let's move on to what else is coming out May 18th weekend. And that we got Book Club. 4 lifelong friends have their lives forever changed after reading 50 Shades of Grey in their monthly book. Anyone excited for this? I'm actually seeing it with my grandma on Mother's Day. So anyone else excited for this? It has
this is what I'll say is the fact that, look, it's a movie about a bunch of old women who are trying to spice up their sex lives and their loves lives by reading 50 Shades of Grey. And it's a movie that's coming out on Mother's Day. This film is kind of 50-50 for me because it can either be a really, really cute, funny comedy that you can see with your older parents. I don't think you want your younger kids seeing it, but I mean, it could be a very funny and cute comedy, or it could just go down in the trash. I mean, for a movie like this, it could go either way, really.
Yeah. What about you, Jay?
It has Diane Keaton, so that's something, I guess. But if it was anything like another movie called Jane Austen's Book Club, that's a really good comedic film, and I really love that movie. If it's anything like that, then sure. But honestly, I don't know. I don't even know if I'll see it. Maybe I will, but it doesn't look anything that extraordinary.
Well, let's go back. The last thing really coming out that weekend is another A24 film called First Reformed. I don't know if you guys have heard about this film. It has Ethan Hawke, Amanda Seyfried. It's about a former military chaplain is wrecked by grief over the death of his son. Mary is a member of his church whose husband, a radical environmentalist, commits suicide, setting the plot in motion. So from what I understand, I actually think the director of this wrote Taxi Driver, and he wrote Raging Bull. So
Wow.
I think this might be his first directorial debut. Let me check. Oh, no, never mind. I'm completely wrong. But he actually hasn't directed that much stuff. So how's this? I mean, I'm excited for it just because it's A24, to be honest.
Yeah.
I mean, with what you told us, the reason why I don't know if it'll come to my area, because it sounds like it's going to be a very limited release film. It is A24. I'm excited just for the fact that the guy who wrote Taxi Driver is going to be a part of it, and Raging Bull. I mean, those two films, they're some of the best films out there, even though they're 30 plus years old.
Yeah,
they're still great.
Y'all know Jay Vaters has that Taxi Driver pop I want.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, Jay, you excited for it?
Yeah, you had me at Taxi. Not even Driver, just Taxi. You had me. Oh. But yeah.
Well, guys, I think moving on to the next weekend, it's another big film.
Yep.
Ron Howard, slightly directed by him. Also might have been about 21 Jump Street's directors also on here, but we're not going to talk about them. Starring Paul Bettany, Alding Ehrenreich, Thandie Newton, Emilia Clarke, Woody Harrelson, and the great Donald Glover. And Chewbacca, since, apparently you don't want to give that actor credit in any of the posters. A Star Wars story. I've come around. I'm really excited for this film at this point. I think I'm going to get a fun Star Wars adventure, which I think is the best palate cleanser after seeing Avengers, after seeing Last Jedi, and just in general. I think the film looks fun. And I will say the cinematography for this film, which is by the guy who did Arrival, is gorgeous. I mean, there are some shots in some of the clips that they're showing that around that train sequence that look brilliant. And I mean brilliant. If you have not seen any of the clips they've released and you're not sold on this film, I 100% agree to go check out those clips because they blew my mind. There's a one-shot take of Woody Harrelson shooting people, and it is magnificent. It is beautiful. I'm really excited for this film in so many different ways. And God, man, it's just... I think I'm more excited to see Lando Calrissian, to be honest. But I mean, I get people's problems with Alden Ehrenreich, but I think he's a really good actor. He was the big standout in that Coen Brothers film. But I have my hopes for this film. What about you guys?
Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, if you guys know anything about me, I'm a giant Star Wars fan. I mean, even right behind where I have this webcam pointed, there's a giant Star Wars mural. I've got two figurines of Obi-Wan and Rey behind me. I've got a lightsaber right here in my corner, and I've got every single Star Wars film, just like everybody else in this podcast. But what I'll say about Solo: Star Wars Story is I was on the fence before till about halfway through, and then the clips and the trailers, and I could not be more on board now than I've ever been. I'm super excited. And Zach is absolutely right. If you guys haven't checked out the clips and some of the marketing they're releasing for Solo: A Star Wars Story, you really need to check it out because I was super nervous about Alden Ehrenreich up until about a week ago. I mean, Alden Ehrenreich, he looks like he's going to be a fantastic Han Solo. And his voice pattern, his speech, it looks like it's going to his voice is not going to copy Harrison Ford specifically, but it looks like his speech pattern is pretty spot on with what Harrison Ford brought us to Han Solo so many years ago. I'm super excited. Now, Jay, it's your turn.
This may come as a shock, but I'm also a Star Wars fan. Whoa, I know.
Really? No way.
Whoa. Yeah, I know. It's crazy.
At least you them all, not like Ryan O'Toole's brother.
Yeah, that guy loves his Clone Wars. Anyway, I was anticipating this movie before the year came out. I was sold mostly on the second trailer. The second trailer really got me hooked because it had a lot of that fun, swashbuckling action that I wanted. It had very Firefly-esque elements in it.
It's Pirates of the Caribbean in space.
Yeah, it looked a lot of fun.
Not a Kraken. Actually, no, that's a lie. There is a fucking Kraken in the movie.
The Kraken.
I totally forgot about that. So I guess this is Pirates
Yeah.
of the Caribbean 7.
So yeah, the ending of the movie, Han Solo is going to go into Davy Jones's locker. I'm calling it.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, that kid from Beautiful Creatures, he may do a good job.
You guys want to know something? Would you guys think it would be an opportunity missed if they didn't have Harrison Ford like sitting down in a bar telling a story and then it goes into this? I think it would be an opportunity missed. Imagine what if he's telling his son Kylo Ren this story?
Oh,
Because come on, I think that would be a great segue into there. I always think that like if you're gonna like do something like this with either Indiana Jones, it's always a good thing to have the original actor. If you have him alive, have him sit down telling a story to someone. If they're gonna do a different Indiana Jones and they go younger, just have him tell a story. You know, like that's how I think this would be best. Then it kind of segues us into the same universe, and that would kind of fit the problem that if I don't need an opening credit scene, because that was my biggest problem with Rogue One was no opening credits. That was my biggest problem with that film. Is that opening credit scene? It just started, and I did not like that. But this one, I think, if it settles down, you have him telling a story. I think that would be kind of nice. It gets me right into it.
Yeah, you gotta have the opening crawls to put you in the Star Wars mood. That's what gets you pumped.
yeah. I mean, when it comes to Solo: A Star Wars Story, the one thing that I will say I certainly hope they fix from the trailers and from what they've shown so far, I really, really hope that they fix the opening title segment, unlike what they've done in the trailers, because the Solo, a Star Wars Story, it literally looks like something you could make on iMovie. It's like a Saturday morning cartoon opening segment.
No joke. I can make it on a free ad text app on iPhones.
Yeah, I really, really hope they fix that up. But I mean, one thing I can say is, I have faith in Ron Howard that he's going to direct the crap out of this movie, because Ron Howard, he's had a few slip ups here and there, but I mean, the guy's an established director. He knows what he's doing.
Oh yeah, I 100% agree. I mean, and he's been really tight with Lucasfilm for a while now, so I think he's probably the best thing to go into it. I think there's a lot of fun to be had in here. The creatures look great. The places they're going, it all looks fun. So with that said, guys, what's the box office? Cody, why don't you throw it out? What's your box office prediction?
Okay, box office, predictions right now are at $170 million. They're at $170 million for predictions, but here's the thing. This is
Black Panther, so
I mean, this is Star Wars. It's Han Solo, the most beloved, probably the most beloved character in all of Star Wars. And even if people go out there and they go about and saying how they're not going to go see it, they don't want to see Han Solo ruined, I will tell you, there are people who are morbidly curious to see how the kid's going to do. I mean, for one thing, just as an example, my mother had no interest in seeing this movie about 3 months ago. As time got closer and closer, she started getting interested in it, and now she's full bore going to go see it. We're going to go see it as a family opening night, and with all that being said, considering it is Star Wars, I'm going to say $195 to $200 million opening weekend.
Ooh, that's a big damn opening. 200 is a little ballsy, but I won't be surprised. What about you, Jay? What are you thinking?
I'm thinking 160. I'm going with it is Star Wars. You can never knock out a Star Wars movie. It is Star Wars. It has that Star Wars title in there that sells people. Even there's so many people, even at my work, they're like, "Oh, they look so stupid," and they already got like their pre-tickets. I'm like, "Wow, they look stupid, huh?" And I already got my tickets too. So yeah, people are gonna go see it. It's Star Wars.
Yeah, and I think people were not on the idea of having a Han Solo film, but I'm not joking. Like, I don't know if it's you guys, but I know Griffin from Ember's movie was telling me like no one ever gets excited in his theater, but out here in Arizona, dude, every theater I go to when they show a Han Solo trailer, they get hyped. People get hyped for it. Given I do hear some people are like, why are they making a Han Solo film? Like, and I was kind of the same route, but at this point, I kind of just like, it's made, it's done, it's happening. I'm just gonna go in and enjoy it. This isn't a life of the party situation where I didn't want this film. No, I mean I didn't want this film, but it's Star Wars and it looks good. It looks fun. So for me, my box office prediction, I'm gonna say 170. I think it can go to 180 if the film's good.
You know, it's actually funny. We put that into perspective, what Star Wars has done. You know, we had a really, really rough patch with the prequels, but I think everybody can agree we've gotten over that at this point.
to be
But
honest,
now,
keep going on.
what I was going to finish off with is saying that it is so integrated into our society. You know, even if people are saying they're not going to go see a Star Wars movie, 3 months down the road, people are morbidly curious beings.
Yeah.
It's who we are. So even if we hear a movie's bad with the name Star Wars on it, we want to go see it for ourselves to see how bad it truly is.
Yeah, no, and honestly, it can't be that bad. Like, I'm just being honest. It won't be anything near the prequels. I'm just being straight up honest.
No.
Prequels are something else. They're something else. There's no way this film will be that bad. Well, could it be a mess in other parts? Absolutely, absolutely. But I do never think it could be as bad as the prequels.
No,
So
not
I
on this
also
planet.
will go to say though, I won't be surprised if this film only opens like 115, 120 million, just because if the critical reception isn't the best, then I think people will be like, oh well, I can hold off the next couple of weeks. You know what I mean? Let all the Star Wars geeks go out the first week, and then I'll go see it like progressively. And I think that's how it is. But moving on, there's nothing else that weekend, to be honest, because who's stupid enough to open up against a Star Wars film? That's the truth. So moving on to June 1st, there's actually quite a couple of films coming out this week. So we're going to start. I'm just going to go now and name them if you guys, whatever you guys want to talk about. So we got Action Point with Johnny Knoxville. Upgrade, a brand new Blumhouse film, sci-fi type stuff. Logan Marshall Green stars in it. Leigh Whannell, the guy who's behind Saw and Insidious. He's directing it, and it stars Logan Marshall Green, who I think is a very underrated actor, to be honest.
I think that movie looks awesome.
Yeah,
it does. It looks so good.
American Animals, a heist film that I am literally dying to see. I love the cast in it. Blake Jenner, Evan Peters. The cast goes on and on and on. But any of these films stick out to you guys? I mean, Action Point, I didn't see the trailer until a couple weeks ago, but I want another stupid jackass type of film, and this looks like a stupid type of jackass type of film.
Yeah, you know, it's interesting. Okay, there's another point we need to put on there. It's kind of like Star Wars with a morbid curiosity thing.
Yeah.
When it comes to the Jackass films, everybody knows what they're getting. Everybody knows it's going to be a film where people literally do their own stunts. People are idiots. People are getting hurt, and they are injuring themselves in the most hilariously gag-worthy ways possible. And we're getting another. I mean, we got that with the Jackass films. We also got a prank type film with Bad Grandpa, and now we're getting Action Point. Honestly, I'm sold on this movie because with all the kinds of movies that we're getting over the course of this summer, we need a movie that's just going to be dumb, where people are okay with us laughing at their expense, as we as a theater are having a great time laughing at their expense.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. What about you, Jay? Are you a fan of Johnny Knoxville?
Yeah, I like Johnny Knoxville. He seems like actually a pretty cool guy, actually. I don't love the Jackass movies, but they are fun for what they are. I actually didn't mind Bad Grandpa. I thought that was pretty funny. And this one, I've seen this trailer a bunch of times, and every movie I go see, I see this trailer. And honestly, it does make me chuckle quite a few times. Especially when he's an old man and he's trying to do the pull-ups and he falls. that scene killed me. I'm like, okay, that was pretty funny.
Yeah, no, it's great. I mean, also the makeup looks really good. I'm sorry, but they always do a good job with the makeup. Bad Grandpa, the makeup was fantastic in that movie.
Yeah,
was it even? It might have been nominated for best makeup. I'm not.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
I think it was. Yeah.
But going on, I know Jay wanted to talk about Upgrade. Now, I've only seen partially some of the trailer. I've been kind of wanting to stay away from it. I kind of want to go into this film not knowing much, and man, from what I've read, it looks great.
It looks so awesome and trippy and stuff. I love how it's filmed and stuff. The action sequences look really badass. I think it looks awesome.
I have to agree. And one of the things that gets me excited for it, it's kind of like Blumhouse is kind of like A24 for me. When they come out with a new project, I'm always interested to hear what they're going to do. And they've done it again. I mean, the last project that they did was Truth or Dare, which it seems like, the movie wasn't that great. However, it does go to show what kind of risks that Blumhouse is willing to do. And this is another risk for them.
Well, it's a different type of film. I mean, have they really ever done a sci-fi film?
the movie looks like it's a sci-fi version of James Bourne. That's kind of what it reminds me of.
Yeah, that's true.
And
Now, keep going on. Keep going.
I was just gonna. I am sorry, Zach. I was just gonna finish off and say that I'm excited.
Hey, no, that's a great thing to be excited for. Now, see, my thing, I'm hoping to God this film comes out this weekend. American Animals. I know it's a very small budgeted film, but the fact that it's a heist film, I don't care what the heist is about. I will go see it. It's about 4 young men mistake their lives for a movie and attempt one of the most audacious heists in U.S. history.
Sign me up.
Yeah.
Yep, get me ready to go.
Like, if you guys haven't seen the trailer, this is a great film. But going on to the next weekend, I'm actually really excited for 2 of these films. One being Ocean's 8. I think this film looks great. I'm not the biggest Ocean's fans. I think they're fun films. Again, they're heist films. So that's a lot of the reasons why I'm super excited for Ocean's 8. But the cast in here is they're amazing. This is one of the best casts of the year. And the other film coming out this week is Hereditary. Now, I have not seen the trailer for that film. I'm not going to really talk much about that film because I don't even know what the fuck it's about. I'm not going to read the synopsis because I don't want to know what it's about at all. I just know it's a horror film by A24. That's all I know about it. I don't want to know anything else. Well, so let's talk about Ocean's 8 really fast, and then I might close my ears for a bit while you guys talk about Hereditary. What do you guys think about Ocean's 8?
Ocean's 8, yeah. No, I could not be excited more. Maybe not so much for the movie because we've had so many of these different kinds of heist films before. I mean, the Ocean's films, which is what this is coming up from. It's the female version of the Ocean's 11, Ocean's 12, Ocean 13 films. And honestly, when it comes to heist films, I don't necessarily get excited for the plots anymore because they all seem to run similarly, except for how they do the heist. I'm excited for the cast. I mean, Cate Blanchett, Anne Hathaway. Let's see here. Who else we got in here? Sandra Bullock, Rihanna, Helena Bonham Carter. I mean, it's a great cast overall. And I mean, this is a fantastic group of women, and I can guarantee they're going to have phenomenal chemistry across the board.
I do really like that it's tying into the originals, that it's Debbie Ocean. It's the sister of George Clooney's. I really like that they're doing that, and I won't be surprised if he shows up.
I think Matt Damon was supposed to maybe show up. I heard rumors that Matt Damon as Linus, whatever his name is.
I'd be surprised if at least some of the original cast doesn't show up.
I mean, if they don't bring in any of the original casts, it's going to be a major missed opportunity.
We also forgot to say Sarah Paulson's in this, and I think she's such an underrated actress. She is.
I love her in the TV shows like People vs. OJ, American Horror Story. Yeah,
she's one of the best standouts in those. But yeah, no, Ocean's 8 looks great. What about you, Jay? Are you excited for Ocean's 8?
Honestly, at first, the idea, I'm like, no. But I did see the trailer. I'm like, you know what? That looks pretty fun. I love Ocean's 11. I think Ocean's 11 is a really great film. Sequels, they're okay. Everyone's like, oh, we're going to have another Ghostbusters situation. I'm like, no, I don't think so. I think this actually legit looks funny. These actresses are really talented. There's no way Cate Blanchett would do that. She's a talent. And I think it looks great. I think it looks like a fun time.
I will say about Ocean's 8, I remember when they announced the all-female Ocean's movie, and I was kind of really iffy on it because I don't believe you need to have an all-women's cast. I believe that you can have the women be the central figures and then some men in the background. I think that's how Ghostbusters should have been completely. 2 girls, 2 guys. I think that would have been probably one of the best things. Don't get me wrong, I'm all fine. I'm all good with girls being in like doing these roles and stuff. I just feel like that's the best way to kind of avoid that controversy and stuff because people get pissed about it for no reason. But it's also like, I don't know. It's a good concept. But I mean, the cast that got involved is fantastic. What's the opening weekend for this film for you guys? I'm thinking 55 to 60.
Yeah, 55 to 60. If people are saying really, really good things to it, I think the most that it will do is like 75. But I mean, that's if everybody is saying it's fantastic. Yeah. If not, low end, I'd say about 40 million.
Okay. What about you?
Yeah, I'm around in the 50 million, about 53 million. Yeah, that seems better because Han Solo will still be in theaters then. So yeah.
So will Avengers. So will Deadpool 2. You know, I think this film is one of those films that if it gets good reviews, it's just going to make its money back by going week to week and having low drop offs at that point. But yeah, now you guys probably want to talk about Hereditary. How excited are you guys for this film?
Yes.
Yeah. Number one, A24. Number two, it's a horror film. And if you guys know anything about me and Zach, if there's one thing that we both love, it's horror films that are done correctly, horror films that are done right. I mean, we've made a couple of videos on our love for horror films, either our top 5 horror films or the problem that we think a lot of the modern horror genre has. But when it comes to Heredity, Zach, you're here, so I don't really want to say a lot. I would say I'm excited, and to me, what it looks like it's going to be a combination of the Babadook meets the Witch. But I mean, that's just me.
Yeah, I agree. I some of the trailers, they're like saying it's scarier than The Exorcist. I doubt that. I just think it's going to be a film that's going to stick with you like The Witch. Like, I love The Witch, and I think it's
of all time.
That movie's just so bleak and unsettling, and I love it. And I feel like Hereditary is going to be the exact same. It's going to leave the same impact as The Witch.
Now,
I don't think it's going to be scary, but it'll stick with you, though.
Now, I'm going to say something that's very unopinionated, and probably people are going to give me shit. The Exorcist.
What? What about you? Don't like it, do you?
No, I don't think it's a good movie. Actually, no, I'll say that. I think it's a good movie as a comedy. I laughed my ass off watching it. I'm sorry. I don't think it's scary. I think it's one of the most unintentional comedies I've ever seen in my life. Maybe I'm just really messed up as a person, but when she goes down the stairs backwards, I almost fell out of my seat laughing. When she peed her pants, I laughed. When she's stabbing herself with the cross, I was laughing. I just, for some reason, I can never take that movie serious.
You know, the funny thing is, there's a movie, The Exorcist 3. I know it sounds ridiculous. The Exorcist 3 is actually very underrated.
I've actually heard that. It's a really good movie.
It is legit creepy. It has great atmosphere. And a lot of people are like, Exorcist 3 is a good movie. It is. It's really good.
Not the second one.
What I'll say about The Exorcist is I enjoy The Exorcist. I don't enjoy it as 90% of people say, it's the scariest movie you'll ever watch. It's the most terrifying. I'm just it takes a lot to scare me. And The Exorcist is not a movie that scares me in any way. What I will say, though, is when it comes to Hereditary, I think it is going to be like The Witch, and the movie is going to be loved by a lot of critics and a lot of film lovers, but regular teenage kids who want to go there, who want to take their girlfriends for a date just to have a fun time and just get really scary. I think that Hereditary is going to be more like The Witch, and it's going to be very more slow burn-esque, and it's going to be more. It's going to be character oriented. Although when the creepy things happen and when the really, really messed up things happen, like Jay said, I have a feeling even though it builds up to that point, it's going to leave a lasting impression.
Oh yeah, I mean The Witch, the Witch's score still goes through my head. Even though I haven't seen the film in a couple months, it goes through my head. But yeah, no. And going from Cody's point, yeah, no, seriously, it takes a lot for me to get scared or actually go home thinking about stuff. The only time I really get scared is when I wake up in the morning and see myself in the mirror. Surprised I don't fall over. But going on to the next week, and is one of my the last most anticipated film I have for the year that was in my most anticipated list. That is The Incredibles 2.
Yeah!
I'm excited about this, but I also will say I'm actually really excited for this weekend too because Tag comes out, and Tag looks like to be a funny ass comedy.
That looks good.
I love the trailers. I love everything about this. So I want to talk about Tag before we get to The Incredibles 2. Are you guys excited for this comedy? I mean, I love the concept. Yes. I want to do this with my friends now.
Okay, here's the thing. Tag, we've had some really great comedies over the board of 2018. And let's look over the past couple of years. It looks like 2018 might be the year for comedy very much, and it might have a resurgence over time like we did with horror. I mean, at the very beginning of this year, we had, let's see what we've had so far. We had Game Night, we had Blockers. We had
was not as bad as I thought it was going to be.
And what I'll say is Tag, it looks like another Game Night-esque comedy.
Yeah.
I mean, if we get another Game Night-esque comedy where they know how to modulate the types and level of comedy that we get in the movie, I will be so happy and I will be so excited because Game Night, the more and more I think about Game Night as a comedy, as a film overall, it's one of my favorite movies so far this year.
Well, also the director's a first-time director. He's directed some things on TV and stuff, but never a big budgeted movie.
That's fantastic.
I like
What about you, Jay? Are you excited for Tag?
Oh yeah, I was always great at tag when I played in school. I wish I was in this movie.
Ari Schaefer is.
Ari
He's a comedian. Look him. If you guys don't know who Ari Schaefer is, look him up. He is a really effed up comedian. He has some of the worst like humor you could ever get into. But the fact that he helped write some of the stuff for him, okay, I'm on board. I'm on board.
Sounds interesting. My Jay Vaters senses are tingly.
Yeah, Tag looks great. I honestly, I'll see this film even if it has a 0%. I love the cast. Jeremy Renner. I love that. I love the trailer when he's getting married and Ed Helms just tries to run towards him. And I just love how he's so slick. He'll grab like the thing and throw it around John Hamm's face. Like the cast for this is great.
Yeah, I mean,
so good.
Plus, it's original. It's a very original story. It's different. I like it. Anything different, sign me up.
And it's like actually like pretty realistic, like from what the trailer is giving out.
Wow.
So I like hearing that type of stuff. But I think we're going to talk about the Incredibles 2. Who's not excited here for it? Like to be honest,
I mean, come on. We've been waiting. We have been waiting. Yeah, it's been over a decade. I mean, how many films have we gone through Pixar? We got 3 Cars films. We only have 1, now 2 Incredibles films. Where's the logic in that? But I mean, this film is taking place immediately after the events of the first one. And in my opinion,
I was not on board with that until I saw the trailer.
I mean, the thing I'm most excited about is, I mean, Brad Bird is coming back to direct it. The entire crew from the first Incredibles film is coming back. And I mean, in my personal opinion, I feel as though that's perfect because I feel as though with Brad Bird and the entire team on board, this is going to be just as good, if not better than the first one was. And the first one was perfect.
Yeah, I mean, the Incredibles is one of my favorite films of all time as well. And Incredibles 2, the thing about this film is that I feel like Brad Bird, after Tomorrowland, really, I think he took a step back. And I think he knew he's always wanted to do Incredibles 2, but he didn't know what story to tell. And I think if you've waited this long, this isn't a cash grab at this point. We have a story for this. It's kind of like, I always defend Toy Story 4 that comes out next year on this, is that it's not a cash grab at this point. If it was a cash grab, they would have made one right after Toy Story 3. Toy Story 4, they actually genuinely have a story for, and I think that's what's going to happen with Incredibles 2. I love seeing that Holly Hunter's character is getting the full front in here. I love that she's getting it, and Bob Parr is the one that has to stay home with Jack.
I think this movie looks great, actually. I hated it took this long, and we had a Cars 2 and 3 before this one, but this one does look legit great. The animation looks gorgeous. It looks action-packed, and I love these characters, and I love this family. So I want to see them again. I hope we get like 4 more after, because this could be a huge franchise. Because it's superheroes.
Yeah. And I think, honestly, I'll say this: if this film is widely received, I won't be surprised. I do have a feeling that the third one, if it's like pushed out like pretty fast, like a year and a half, 2 years later, I feel like it'll be more of a sense of a cash grab. You know what I mean? Like, it'll probably try to milk off that Cars money. Because especially since superheroes are in it, but I don't care. I love these characters. I'd see them. I think the reason I don't like the Cars movies as much is I don't relate to a talking car. the first Incredibles is so great because you relate to him. I mean, it's a damn guy having a midlife crisis.
Yeah, it is. And although a lot of us aren't in our middle ages right now, I mean, we've been in places that you're middle aged. You're 75. You look great.
So good, man. Dude, what kind of skin cream do you use?
Baby oil, lotion, and drugs.
Oh, so you're just a miniature version of John Flickinger.
Do you have any on you right now?
Yeah.
Okay, so back to the point you were making about stories, Zach. You're absolutely right. With it being so far ahead, they've got to have a story to tell. I mean, you look at just one of the best films that we got last year. You look at Blade Runner 2049. That film came out years and years after the first one.
Have a story, and that's not a film that's going to make money. It didn't make money.
No, it didn't. And it's a shame because Blade Runner 2049, arguably to a lot of people, was the best film of last year. But almost everybody agreed that Blade Runner 2049, from a story perspective, from everything, it was far superior to the original Blade Runner. And we might see the same thing here with Incredibles 2.
Yeah, I'll say this. So I think this is a great segue. I want to hear what your guys' box office prediction is, because I think this film's going to make it. I think this film could beat Avengers opening weekend if it has a good box office. Jay, I want you to give me your thoughts on it. Yeah, dude, everyone has been waiting for this film. Everyone.
Yeah. I know I have, and I don't know if it'll beat Avengers. I think it'll be the second highest grossing summer film, if you count Avengers as a summer film, which hardly. If you don't, it will be the highest grossing. Domestic, I think it will cross like 200 million probably.
Opening weekend?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm there with you. What about you, Cody?
Yeah.
You know what? If there's one thing we can say about this, and one thing we can say about all these predictions, Disney is going to make all the money this year.
They rule the world. They rule it.
But my prediction, I am somewhere in the middle. I don't necessarily think that it's going to beat Avengers, but it's going to be one heck of a big number. I think. Oh, wait a minute, and you got to put in perspective that it's not just families. I mean, there are certain families. I know certain families that wouldn't take their kids to go see Avengers Infinity War, but every family is going to be going to see Avengers. Yep. Honestly, for this, I think it will beat Avengers by just a slight amount, because I think for it to make like 280 million or even 270 million, that's going to be quite a task. So I'm going to say a little over Avengers. I'll say that I think it'll make $265 million.
I'm at. So Avengers made what, like 258 opening? I'm saying if it doesn't beat it, 225. If it does, 259, just right above it. I mean, either way, it's good. For me, that's like 2 weeks. There's 3 weeks in between the last big film. Everyone's going to be clamoring for a big film.
Yeah.
And if the critical buzz is coming out of this, which I know some people who've actually seen like the first 30 minutes of it and said it's amazing, but some people said it was just okay, but you got to see the full film. I think this film's gonna blow people away.
Also, not to
Finding
mention,
Dory did better than Finding Nemo, and I didn't think Finding Dory was better than the first one.
Yeah.
Also, a lot of people say the same thing about the first Incredibles, that the first little bit is not as good as the last little bit, because the last bit is when all the action happens and the family becomes the Incredibles and stuff. So a lot of people say that about the first one. So
that's a fun weekend.
Everybody has been waiting for this movie. I mean, no matter what anybody else says, there's no way that this film's going under $200 million. No. It's just not happening.
Nope, not at all. So, but going on from there, for the next week, and we actually have another big film coming out the next week, and that is Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. I will say this. The trailers have interested me. The Super Bowl trailer was great. That was horror vibes. That's right back to the first Jurassic Park. The reason I'm more excited for this is Jay Vaters. He is one of the best underrated directors working in Hollywood. A Monster Calls is one of the best films of that year. Made me cry. I don't remember the first one before that, and it pisses me off that I can't remember, but it has Tom Holland and Obi-Wan in it, and that film was fantastic as well. But Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, the thing I like about this film is because he has come out and said everything you see in the trailers on that island is like only the first part of that film. There's a full third act that we have not even shown yet. And
The Impossible.
The Impossible. Yes, that's it. Thank you.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't care what the trailers have. I just think that they're being the way they're marketing this film. I have a feeling this film is going to be very different than what the marketing is giving us.
Absolutely. I mean, for me, everything we've been hearing about Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom is that J.A. Bayona, he wants to make the film very, very much like the kitchen scene in Jurassic Park for a majority of the runtime. And if we get more horror vibes, if 80% of the movie is more horror oriented, I would not be happier, because I love Jurassic Park to death, but my favorite parts of the movie are those horror vibes. The when the kitchen scene, or what we got with the Dilophosaurus, all these different scenes that we got. And if the film can follow through with the latest trailer that we got, the last half of it blew me away. And if most of the movie follows that kind of vibe, we are going to be in for something very unique and very special. And of course, J.A. Bayona. I mean, the guy's a terrific director. From The Impossible to A Monster Calls, both films are great in their own right, and both films develop different tones. We're in for something special. I guarantee it. What about you, Jay? What do you think?
I gotta hear this stuff. You like dinosaurs, right?
Yeah. Now it's time to hear a different opinion. This
what?
Hey, we want different opinions here.
Yeah. I love JBO, and I actually love The Impossible. I loved Monster Calls. This movie, I'm not excited for. I love Jurassic Park. Lost World's okay. Third one's not that good. Jurassic World, I had a lot of fun with it. First time I watched it, it kind of lost its steam after a few times of viewing it. This one, it looks okay, I guess. I've seen amazing filmmakers take franchises and big blockbusters and fail horribly, like Duncan Jones with Warcraft and stuff.
Warcraft was great. Fuck off. Warcraft is the best video game movie to date.
That movie sucked.
No. That's a different debate. That's a different
debate.
All right,
back to dinosaurs, guys.
No,
back to dinosaurs.
Warcraft has dinosaurs. Warcraft has dinosaurs. Go on, Jay.
Yeah,
Fuck you, though.
Fuck you, Zach. I mean, I love you. This...
Have a marker up your ass.
Oh, yeah, I already did already.
All right.
All right. This movie, there's some fun stuff in it. There's some intense moments in the trailer. Just I don't know. Maybe it'll be a great movie, but if it ends up sucking, I'm like, ha.
All right, fine. Opening weekend for you guys.
Okay, Jurassic World.
$5. Okay.
Jurassic World is
Jurassic
the first Jurassic.
208.
Yeah, it was 208, but that was very much. I feel as though it's very much like Star Wars. After Jurassic Park 3, people just lost interest in Jurassic Park, and we thought it was all dead. And then we hear about Jurassic World coming back. People flocked to the movie theater because it looked like it was going to be a resurgence of the original.
No one cared about the Rotten Tomatoes score for that film.
No, they didn't. When it comes to Jurassic World, I don't think it's going to cross the $200 million mark. However, I do think it's still going to get pretty high. First one got 208 million. I'll say, I think it'll do like 170 to 180 million. I mean, opening weekend, that's what I think.
Fair enough. What about you, Jay? Since you hate
it's dinosaurs. People are gonna go see dinosaurs, and it will be high.
It has Chris Pratt.
Yeah, it will be high. I know I'll be high when I see it, but I'm guessing 140, 145 because.
Wow, that's really low.
Yeah, I want to go low on it, so maybe it's wishful thinking.
So, again, taking this in, better critical reception than the first Jurassic World, 210. Not just kind of the same route, 150.
That's
okay.
Yeah, that's pretty accurate. That's pretty spot on, actually.
So,
yeah.
like I said, if it gets better love than the first one, I think we're gonna flock to it. Because most audience members love Jurassic World. You know what I mean? Like, us who kind of like pick stuff apart and stuff, it's sometimes we can't turn off our heads when something really bugs us. But, like, most of my friends love Jurassic World. Like, loved it. So, I'm curious to see that. Now, I do want to bring up, there is one other film coming out that weekend, which probably will only go to LA and New York, but I still want to talk about it. It's called Under the Silver Lake. It is directed by the guy who made It Follows, which I loved It Follows. And it stars Andrew Garfield. It's about a man becomes obsessed with the strange circumstances of a billionaire mogul's murder and the kidnapping of a girl. Now, I'm mostly just excited for this because it's by the director who did It Follows. And if you guys have never seen It Follows, it's another fantastic horror film.
Really good.
Have you guys heard about this film at all? I haven't even seen the trailer for it.
Yeah,
I've heard good things about it.
I saw a trailer actually like a week or two ago, and it looks great. It looks really good. It looks intense.
What about you, Cody? Have you heard about it?
I mean, I haven't heard about it, but just from what you've described, I'm super stoked for it. I mean, just from Andrew Garfield to the director who brought us It Follows, and It Follows is one of my all-time favorite horror films. It's really great, really unique. So I'm on board. Even if it is limited release, I want to try to see it.
Well, next weekend we got Sicario, Day of the Soldado, which I will say that is the fucking worst title. God, stop changing. I love the first Sicario. That was actually my favorite film of that year.
Directed by
Sicario,
Denis Villeneuve.
yes. And I actually do like this director that is on board for this one. I like that most of the cast is coming back. Josh Brolin, Benicio del Toro. You need both of them to really make this film. Emily Blunt wasn't needed. I'm glad they didn't bring her back and try and force her in here. But okay, first off, Sicario, Day of the Soldado. So this is called Sicario, Day of the Soldier. Stupid. Then it was first called Soldado. Perfect. Soldier. That's awesome. Just keep it like that. You know what I mean? Like, we didn't need that. And then it was called Soldado, Sicario. They keep changing the title. But what I will say, the trailers look fun. They look great. They look dark and gritty. And that's exactly what I want from another Sicario film. Will it have the same emphasis as the first Sicario? Absolutely not. Will it be a fun film to watch? Hopefully. What about you guys? What do you guys think?
I mean, with this guy's background, I mean, this could be the best Call of Duty film that we've never had in theaters. But yeah. I mean, I am curious for it. I won't say I have a true opinion till I actually see it, because I've never really heard of the director before. I am glad that the entire cast, aside from Emily Blunt, is coming back. And just for my love of Sicario and what Denis Villeneuve did with the story in that film, I'm curious where they're going to bring this movie. And Zach is absolutely right. The movie looks like a lot of fun. I mean, for almost the middle of summer, I feel as though, once again, with all the other movies that we're getting, the Jurassic Worlds, with all the other films that we're getting, the big blockbusters, I think Sicario it's in a good place right now.
Yeah. What about you, Jay? Come on, let's talk about it.
I'm actually, I'm very excited for Sicario too.
Oh yeah, you like the cartel, but you don't like dinosaurs.
Exactly. I'm trying to get into business with them.
Or I'm bringing up this Warcraft bullshit. We're having a debate podcast one day where we're arguing the best video game movie, and I will win this shit.
No, you won't. We'll have a Warcraft debate.
We'll talk about this later.
It'll take 4 hours.
I'm still heated about this shit. But yeah, Sicario.
It looks great. Benicio del Toro, Josh Brolin, love them. Taylor Sheridan, anytime Taylor Sheridan.
Yeah, he got to write it.
Yeah, and he did the first Sicario. He did Wind River last year. Really great film. Anything Taylor Sheridan's involved
Hell or High Water. He's right. Hell or High Water.
He also was in Sons of Anarchy, the show, as an actor.
Never saw it, but I need to watch that show. So that's awesome.
Really great show. And yeah, it just looks fun, looks badass, looks raw, gritty, and it looks better than dinosaurs.
You are kidding.
Like dinosaurs.
Does it look better than Warcraft?
In every way, shape, or form, it does.
So we'll talk about this later.
Do Canadians just not like
dinosaurs
and dinosaurs?
Oh, we actually we Canadians, we have a day. It says "Fuck Dinosaur Day."
Okay. I thought you guys were like all nice and stuff. What the hell? South Park lied to me.
Yeah. We do offer you donuts when you enter the border. So
really, that's awesome. Now another thing I have to know. Do you guys look forward to this film? Because I live right next to the border. So I don't know if this is why. I think maybe you're just more excited because you've never seen something like this.
What's the drug cartel like in real life?
My favorite thing about the first Sicario is when it opens up and says Chandler, Arizona. Because that is nothing like Chandler, Arizona looks like. That is nothing. I remember everyone in my theater started laughing. Because everyone's like, that's not Arizona.
And I was going to go vacation there.
But moving on, I think there's one other film coming out that weekend that I think that we're going to probably get mad if we don't talk about. It's called Uncle Drew, starring Tiffany Haddish, Shaquille O'Neal, and Nick Kroll. What do you guys think about this film? It looks funny.
Honestly, I think the movie, it's one of those films where it can either be really funny or it's going to be complete garbage. It's one of those two.
The trailers have me hooked. What about you, Jay?
Yeah, it's on the same par as Warcraft.
You gotta be kidding. Come on.
Dude, I'll even admit, Warcraft looks better than that.
Yeah, no, I'm just kidding. It looks, I guess, serviceable at best. It could be funny. I love Tiffany Haddish. She is so funny.
Dude, she's my celebrity crush, honestly.
She is so good. I loved her in Keanu, Girls Trip. She's so funny.
Forgot she was in Keanu. But yeah, guys, I think we should actually move on to the next week. July 4th weekend. Ant-Man and the Wasp is here. The trailers look great. We're getting another spy type of heist film with this look of it. Wasp is coming into play. Evangeline Lilly, I love her. I love her as the casting of this. Michelle Pfeiffer's coming in here. Peyton Reed's coming back to direct. Paul Rudd is one of the best actors in Hollywood. He's just so entertaining, so charismatic. Michael Douglas, and of course, Michael Pena as Luis, the all-star in the first film, in my opinion. But Ant-Man and the Wasp, I'm really excited for this. This is my palate cleanser after Avengers, even though I do think the end credit scene for this film will be dark as hell and seeing everyone disappear. What about you guys?
Absolutely. And one thing I will say about Ant-Man and the Wasp, after the darkness that was Avengers Infinity War, we need a film that's just fun. We need a film that's lighthearted. We need a film that's a blast in the MCU. And Ant-Man and the Wasp
pick these films. Like, I mean, the first Ant-Man came out right after the last Avengers film too.
That's true. So it's perfectly placed. And yeah, the entire cast and crew is coming back, and that's fantastic. And honestly, the film looks fun. I'll say the film looks like it's gonna be a complete blast. Do I think it's gonna be as good as the first Ant-Man? I don't necessarily think so, but I think that
it's better, to be honest.
I think that Ant-Man and the Wasp has the potential to open the door for Ant-Man to bring in some originality, because Ant-Man, in my opinion, followed kind of the same I can't speak today. Plot structures.
Warcraft is a good movie.
Plot structures as Mission Impossible and Iron Man and Doctor Strange, some of those same principles. For Ant-Man and the Wasp, now it's coming out after all these films. I feel as though it's opened the door for itself to be something original, to give us something more unique, like the first one did.
Well, it's like these weird films, like these weird ideas, like the quantum realm and stuff. They kind of introduce in Ant-Man. I think after Doctor Strange and Guardians, I think the second film is going to very much go more into that. I think this next film will go more into that, and I think it'll go away from that structure. That's usually how a lot of these origin films start. It goes from the same Marvel structure, and then the second one's completely different. Winter Soldier, Guardians of the Galaxy 2. I'd say Spider-Man: Homecoming in some senses were, even though it wasn't really. It was an origin film. It wasn't. Black Panther, especially. Like all these films, once they get introduced, after the next thing that we see them in, it's very different. Thor: The Dark World was shit, but it took Thor Ragnarok to be the best one, even though I don't love that film. But still, just saying, you find different strides with that. What about you, Jay? You excited for Ant-Man and the Wasp?
Oh, yeah. I love Ant-Man, actually. I think Ant-Man is so good. And I remember when Ant-Man first came out, the first trailers for Ant-Man kind of sucked. But then the second trailers had the Thompson the Tank Engine, and it was really hilarious. This one, it helped me from the very first trailer. And then the second trailer was just awesome, with the Pez growing and stuff, but shrinking shrinking the building, and he's like carrying it like a suitcase. It's so creative with its visuals and some of its action scenes.
I will say, I think the one thing that this film is going to get judged on hard is the villain. Just because we just got Thanos, we got Killmonger, we got Vulture. I'm just saying, like, this villain, I'm at least expecting somewhat decency. And from the trailers, I'm not really getting that, to be honest.
Yeah, it's a girl, right? It's a female.
Yeah. In the comics, it's a man, but I actually like the actress playing the guy.
Yeah. We don't really get much from her in the trailers. She doesn't really.
Oh, I'm hoping, I'm kind of.
Well, they may be.
I will say my favorite thing in the trailer, though, is when they're comparing sizes. It's just a great thing. I like seeing Lawrence Fishburne in there. But opening weekend, guys, what's your opening weekend thoughts?
Okay, first of all, when it comes to the villain, you're absolutely right. Honestly, with the villains that we've got, they've all been great. I mean, for the villain, I'm expecting somebody like Obadiah Stane, what Jeff Bridges gave us in the first Iron Man film, that kind of a villain. Or maybe not that kind of villain, but that level of decency when it comes to the villain. Anything below that is just... But opening weekend, the first Ant-Man film opened up to $180 million. So...
No. That was its domestic gross. Its opening weekend was 57.
I was not aware of that. Holy cow.
Yeah, I mentioned to pull it up because I thought it was 182, but I was like, there's no way it was 180.
Okay, well,
That's
with
low.
that being the case...
Wow.
It's actually the third lowest. The lowest is Incredible Hulk.
That's not
wow. Okay, well, everybody is still in love with Marvel. Everybody, although after Avengers Infinity War, I gotta think people are looking forward more to Captain Marvel than they are to Ant-Man and the Wasp, but they may want to go see Ant-Man and the Wasp for fun. So I don't think that Ant-Man and the Wasp is gonna cross 100 million its opening weekend, but I will happily say 75 to 80 million dollars opening weekend.
Okay, Jay, what about you?
I'm gonna be a little more generous. I think people I get it's Marvel and stuff. Maybe
want to see Ant-Man. I think people were wondering where. I mean, that first trailer when they're like, "Where's Ant-Man? Where is he? Where is he?" And that was funny when all the cast was like, "Oh, you mean the small guy?" Like, "Oh, I thought he was. Maybe he was just running around." That was great humor to go into there.
Yeah, and I think from the first Ant-Man movie, maybe people didn't, because it was called Ant-Man, and I was like, I don't want to see a movie called Ant-Man, but now everyone's seen it, everyone loves it, and most people love it, and they're like, oh, you know what, the sequel, it looks good. I think it'll hit like 90 million opening weekend, and yeah, maybe 100, but 90. I'll go 90.
See, that's where I'm at with you, Jay. I'm the same way, 85 to 90. I think that's a safe route to say. I'd be optimistic to say I think it could hit 100. I'm not sure though. I think 85 to 90 is probably the best route for this film because it will beat the 57 million. I can never see it even going over to 60. It's gonna at least get over 80, I think. But yeah. But also coming out that weekend is the first Purge. Any of us excited for it? I didn't even watch the trailer because I hated the last one.
Let's just say I might go see it because the last one I thought was awful. But it's also one of those movies that is so bad you can laugh at it really hard.
No, the second one was fantastic. The third one was Marissa Tomei's in this one though.
Well, that's good. But of course, awful actors and actresses have been in really good films before. Let's talk about how Frank Grillo. Wait, was Frank Grillo in The Purge 3? I don't know because
yeah, he was in the second and third one, but still.
Yeah.
Still, you excited for the first Purge?
In a way, I hated the very first Purge film with Ethan Hawke and Lena Headey because it had a cool idea. I didn't use the idea. Anarchy used the idea, which is why it was a really fun film. Purge election year was so stupid.
My chocolate bar. I want my chocolate bar.
Like, it was hilarious that I was laughing my ass off.
Literally made me leave. I wanted to leave the theater.
Purge election year is so stupid. I thought it was like stupid in a hilarious, fun way. I was almost laughing consistently throughout the movie. Like this is funny. This is hilarious. Just like how you thought of The Exorcist.
Yeah.
So I'll see it. I'll see it. I'll probably get like a screening for it. So yeah, I'll see it probably early. So yeah.
No, I agree. So I think, do we even have to say anything? I'm saying 25 million opening weekend for that. 22.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the same weekend that Ant-Man and the Wasp comes out, so I'm with you there. I'd say the most that it'll make, because there are still some fans of the Purge franchise. I'll go...
I'll say this. If you're a fucking idiot and you choose the Purge over Ant-Man, you're an asshole.
Wait, but what if you're a reviewer and you feel required to see both?
That's fine. Support both. But if you're the idiot, I'm going to go see the Purge movie and Ant-Man looks stupid.
Then yeah,
you're probably the idiot who thinks Justice League is better than Avengers Infinity War.
Wow. Oh jeez. Okay, so I'll say that
World is better than Warcraft.
You mean that? Okay. Okay. I'll say to keep us on target. I'll say $30 million max.
Fair
30
enough.
million.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For me, because it isn't October, it's not Halloween season, it's summer season, and it's with Ant-Man. I think it's going to do poorly in the box office. I'm saying like 18 million. So,
ooh, I wouldn't be surprised to see that. Yeah. But guys, the next weekend we actually have 3 big films coming out, and not big films, but actually 3 films that I'm all interested to see all 3 of these. Going down the list, Hotel Transylvania 3. I don't care. The franchise is cute. It's made by the guy who made Dexter's Laboratory and stuff. So I will always go see these films just to support.
Yep.
Him. Skyscraper, a very original but also Die Hard-esque concept from Dwayne Johnson. If this film is rated R, I'm on board. And then the last film coming out this weekend is The Nun. I am excited for The Nun. I am really excited for The Nun. I mean, after Annabelle Creation, I have a lot of hope for The Nun. Annabelle Creation is, I will say, It's a scary film. It is a terrifying film.
It's really
I
good.
did not expect that. It's a really well-made film, and yeah. So you guys excited for all three of these? Any of three of them?
Yeah, I'm excited for all three. Actually, I'm going to see all three of them. They'll look really entertaining and look fun.
I mean, I'm a little. Are we sure that The Nun is coming out on that date? Because I got a source here that says it's coming out on September 7th this year.
Unless they moved it. I mean, so if it's not coming out this year, maybe who knows? Who knows?
But we can talk about The Nun real quick.
Yeah,
but I mean,
it says it's opening this weekend.
I mean, if that is the case, then
it did get moved.
Okay, so either way, depending, it's not coming out in summer anymore. That doesn't matter to me. I am excited for The Nun because Zach is absolutely right. While I wasn't super terrified by Annabelle Creation, it's still a great movie, and it's still the first Annabelle origin story that we've gotten that's actually good. And it's the first prequel to The Conjuring we've gotten that's actually good, and because of Annabelle Creation, my faith, and because of The Conjuring 2, my faith in The Conjuring universe has been restored, and I'm excited. But Hotel Transylvania 3, it's a cute franchise. I love both of the films. I think they're great. And Skyscraper, I mean, it's Dwayne Johnson. Even if the movie is some 90-minute piece of crap, we all know that he's going to be great in it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I thought the Skyscraper trailer was a little underwhelming. I wanted a little bit more from it. I still think it was fun, but I'm really looking forward to this film. I don't know why. It just, the whole concept seems really cool. Hotel Transylvania looks cute. Nothing else I can say to that. And The Nun, I'm really excited for. I want to see it as fast as possible. I think the Nun character, the fact that it was all a reshot character in Conjuring 2, and they took 2 weeks to make this character and put it into the film, is incredible to see. I'm really looking forward to all three of these films, and I think this is going to be a great weekend. It's a nice little weekend after all the big blockbusters.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, when it comes to Hotel Transylvania 3, I do enjoy the first two. I don't love them, but I enjoy them. Different for this one, it's not coming out again during the Halloween season, and I thought it should have probably, but it's a summer movie. It is an anime movie. Kids movies usually do well.
The whole franchise has done really well.
Yeah, I really wish it did come out during the October season. However, it's like them going on vacation, so maybe it is a good summer movie because I see them on like a boat, on vacation and stuff. So maybe it is a summer movie. Skyscraper, though, it's Dwayne Johnson. Anytime Dwayne Johnson's in a movie, I'm going to go see it because he's one charming motherfucker. Yeah,
he is.
Yeah, it does look fun. Even if it's ridiculous, it might be a fun, ridiculous movie.
Like Rampage.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, as long as it's not Baywatch, I'm good.
Yeah.
July 20th, the next weekend. Mamma Mia, here we go again.
Oh, God.
Here
we go again.
The Equalizer 2 and Mile 22. Out of all three of these films, Mile 22 is the main one I'm looking forward to. If you guys don't know this, it's directed by Peter Berg. Stars Mark Wahlberg, Lauren Cohan, Ronda Rousey, and John Malkovich. They're saying this is like the next Jason Bourne series. And Peter Berg and Mark Wahlberg working together, I'm 100% on board with that. 100% on board with that. Equalizer 2, never saw the first one. So I don't really have... I want to see the first one. I love Denzel Washington. And then I'll be completely honest, Mamma Mia just never... the film never worked for me.
Hated it. Hated it so much.
I know you're a musical guy, so do you like Mamma Mia? It's fine.
No.
Oh,
no, I don't.
Oh, wow. I thought you'd be excited for this.
Look, I like good musicals. Yes, I know. It's true. I love The Greatest Showman. I love La La Land. But, of course, a lot of people love La La Land. But Mamma Mia, that's a film adaptation of a musical that I downright hated. I hated Mamma Mia. Like, I mean...
Listen to this and they like Mamma Mia? Like, I'm
yeah, no, I'm kind of glad some of my theater friends aren't listening because they are giant fans of the movie Mamma Mia.
So let's not talk about Mamma fucking Mia. Let's talk about Equalizer 2 and Mile 22.
Mile 22, all the way, yes. Peter Berg and Mark Wahlberg is like Scorsese and DiCaprio. It's a team made in heaven. It's fantastic. Yeah. And Mile 22, I can't wait. But the film that I am more excited for Mile 22 than anything else, but The Equalizer 2. I mean, The Equalizer, even though it is
good?
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah,
Really?
it was
I have
very.
it. I just never watched it.
I mean, it's a good. It's a fun movie. I don't find there's a lot in it that makes it special, but I do find The Equalizer to be a very, very fun movie. So if you just want to kick back and watch a pretty cool action movie with some really stellar performances, Equalizer is pretty darn good.
Okay, I think
Equalizer also has one of the best death scenes by a corkscrew. Oh, so good.
Ooh, now you got my interest. I might go watch it today.
Oh, and by the way, just so you know, all of the most, if not all of the action, it takes place inside of a Home Depot-esque hardware store.
Oh yes,
You got me. I love Ash
it's
vs.
like Home
Evil.
Alone. It's so great.
Okay, I'm gonna watch it now after this. Now moving to July 27th, we have.
Yes.
I'm sorry, but 2 films, and I'm gonna bring up one before we get to the bigger one. I think people are gonna give me shit for this. Now, let me put it in perspective. I don't think this film's gonna be good, but I want to see it. It's called Teen Titans Go to the Movies. I want to see this film because the trailers have made fun of themselves. The marketing for this film is fantastic. They literally posted a trailer on Twitter of people talking shit about the first trailer and then reading the tweets. Brilliant. The last Aquaman joke was great too. I'm sorry, this film looks like crap. But you have Nicolas Cage actually playing Superman in here. Who doesn't want to see that? I want to always see that. The film looks like crap. I'm an OG Teen Titans fan. I love the original series. I hate Teen Titans Go. But the fact that they are making fun of themselves, and the fact that part of me feels like they actually might shoot back to the original animation for part of this film. I don't know why. I just have something in me that says they're going to do the original animation for the OG show. I think they're going to do it. And I just... They make fun of it. Do you guys excited for this film? Am I just fucking stupid? Or
I love it.
bad?
I mean, I love the passion here. I mean, for me personally, I'm morbidly curious because I'm like you, Zach. I mean, the Teen Titans was one of the best shows put to television, and sadly, it got canceled after its 3rd season. But Teen Titans Go, I do believe the marketing is pretty good, and I'm just morbidly curious.
They made a Deadpool joke in the newest trailer.
They certainly did, and it's hilarious. But let's be honest. I think there is. Oh wait, Jay, are you excited for Teen Titans Go?
Again, I love Teen Titans. Childhood right there. Teen Titans Go. My niece watches it, and every time she puts it on, and when I'm babysitting her, I'm like, oh my god, what is this shit? And she's like, it's so good. I'm like, no, I gotta show you the original Teen Titans. She's like, but this is so good. I'm like, no, it's not. It's fucking terrible. Oh.
You know what's funny? There actually is one episode of Teen Titans Go where the guy, I don't remember his name, but the guy who has the remote control, he shows them their original past. And that is actually a really, that's why I said they make fun of themselves. The creators know this show sucks. I think they know that. I think they want them to go back to the original concept. So I don't know. I want to see this film just to see how bad it is and how bad it makes fun of itself.
I hope when the Blu-ray comes out, they're like, they have the 0% on Rotten Tomatoes. Like, we're that good.
Watch, it's gonna be fresh.
Honestly, I'm hoping. I can't get into the creators' minds, but I'm hoping they're using this film as a ploy so they can try to bring the original animation back.
Maybe. The fact that I didn't even know it was going to theaters, I thought it was just going to be on Cartoon Network. That's what's surprising to me. But let's move on to the next big film.
Buddy.
Fallout. Now, big background history on me. The first 3 Mission Impossibles, I have never seen the second one. I've never even seen the third one. I've seen the first one. I enjoy it. But I wasn't really into this franchise till 4 and 5. 4 and 5 are some of the best action films in recent history.
Yep.
Fallout, though. I don't know what it is, but that trailer, every time it comes on, I get hyped. The music.
Yeah.
The cast. McQuarrie coming back. Ferguson. Cruz. And now we have Henry Cavill. I don't know about you guys, but seeing Henry Cavill with his big mustache shooting out a helicopter. But also, I think my favorite sequence is when he's in the bathroom with Tom Cruise, and you just see him smashing his fists together, and just the music, he was totally perfect with it. Just going up and then just sort of beating the shit out of each other. I'm excited. I think out of every film over the summer, this might be my most anticipated film. even though it wasn't my most anticipated list until I saw that trailer, this film it's going to be a surprise film, I think. I think people are not looking forward to this film as much as a lot of big action junkies are. Because when I go into the theaters, I have a lot of people groan like, oh, another Mission Impossible. It's like, did none of you guys see the last two? I think the only problem I had with the fifth one was it was a little bit too long. But besides that, it was great.
Yeah. I mean, Mission Impossible, it's so good. I mean, at this point it is. And yes, that trailer, same thing. You know, it's funny because that same exact thing happens to me. Whenever we get that scene in the trailer where you see Cruise and Cavill in the bathroom together and they're about to go fisticuffs with one another and they're about to beat the crap out of each other, I cannot wait to see that action scene play on screen. And of course, there's the helicopter chase sequence. And you know what? We've been hearing so much that Tom Cruise is gonna. Tom Cruise has been marketing this as though he's going to be doing a stunt that he has never done before. That's unreasonable in this film that he hasn't done in the other ones. I mean, climbing up the side of the Dubai Tower in Mission Impossible 5, that was pretty, 4, Ghost Protocol. Yes, it was Mission Impossible 4. But climbing up the Dubai Tower, that was insane. And then him learning how to hold his breath underwater. This movie just looks flat out incredible. What about you, Jay? What do you think?
I love this franchise. I love it. I love what Brian De Palma did with the first one and the team. I love the teams in these movies. Second one's dumb. It's a John Woo movie, so of course. The third one, directed by J.J. Abrams, was a really great action movie. Probably one of the best villains in Mission Impossible with Philip Seymour Hoffman. Ghost Protocol is my favorite. Brad Bird, what he did with it, fantastic. Rogue Nation was amazing. This one looks badass. This looks awesome. Henry Cavill looks awesome in it. Badass mustache. Worth the CG. I think Tom Cruise, he's awesome. He's just a star. He's an action movie star, and he'll do crazy shit. And you get to see him you actually get to see the injury when you watch the trailer when he's jumping off the building. That was really cool. And yeah, it's badass with the music, with the it was so awesome. It really got me pumped for Mission Impossible. And yeah, I hope it does amazingly in the box office because
I think it will. It will.
Tom Cruise says he said he'd do Mission Impossible until he died. I'm like, you know what? You go for it.
Which is so funny because Jeremy Renner was supposed to take his place after 4. That's so funny. He keeps getting screwed out of these franchises.
And you know what? Okay, let's look at it this way. We need to put some stuff into perspective. Tom Cruise, the guy is a 51, 52-year-old man. And look at what he's doing. Him and Liam Neeson are showing that when you get older, you don't need to age like everybody else. It's insane. But on that segue, I'd say let's get some box office numbers going. So, Zach, what do you got opening weekend for Mission Impossible Fallout?
Okay, can you go to Jay first? Because I want to look up something real fast before.
Okay, Jay, go for it.
Okay, there's numbers what I want it to be, and then what it probably will be. I want it to make like $100 million opening weekend. It won't, but I want it to, like, desperately. It'll probably, I'll be, 75 million, I'd say.
Okay, 75 million. What about you, Zach?
All right, you ready?
Yeah.
So, the last film only made 195 million domestically. Isn't that
how much?
Wow, it's
opening
hurtful.
weekend? It made 55.
Damn.
I'm gonna say for Mission Impossible Fallout, I'm gonna say 65 to 70. Yeah. Though I want it to be higher.
Yeah, so do I.
The reason I don't think it will be is just I think some people just don't like spy films. I don't know why. Like, I mean, look at James Bond. I don't think James Bond really gets that high either.
You know what? I'm right there with you guys. Honestly, I'm not exactly sure why. These action films, they can be some of the best movies out there, but people don't generally go out to see them as much as they see stuff like what Marvel offers, which is surprising to me. Or Teen Titans Go. But I think I'm gonna have to go with Zach. I'd say around $65 to $70 million for Mission Impossible Fallout this summer. Yeah.
Wouldn't it be amazing if it got like 110 million? Just like, what?
I would be so excited if that happened.
That'd be so crazy.
I want that. So, but yeah.
All
So
right.
now coming down the next 2 weeks, it's the end of the summer movie season, and in August 3rd, we got Christopher Robin. I think this film's gonna be adorable.
Mm-hmm.
The trailer looks great. You have the voice coming back to play Winnie the Pooh. Sorry, but when that happened, I almost cried. I'm getting some Paddington 2 things in there. But you guys excited for Christopher Robin?
Absolutely.
It looks beautiful. Now, moving on from there, you got Meg, the giant shark movie. To be honest, I'm not fucking looking forward to this film. The concept I got excited for. The trailer's horrible. The trailer's shit. It's horrible. Jason Statham, if he doesn't punch the shark, I will walk out of the theater.
They should have had Dwayne Johnson instead. That would have been much funnier.
That's true. That's true.
The Rock versus the Shark. I'm like, yes, side me up.
100%. What about you? Anyone really excited for this? Because there's really only one other film at the end of the summer season I'm excited for, and it's not Meg.
Yeah, here's the thing. When the shark comes up to the glass and he bites it, I was kind of disappointed that he didn't just destroy the whole system, because I was like, oh man, I wish that water had gone in and flooded in and got rid of everybody, because I really, really don't want this movie to happen.
No.
I like shark movies. I love Jaws. I love open water.
Shark Week.
Yeah, I even liked what's it? The Shallows. I liked that one too.
Yeah. Warcraft is better.
No. This one looks dumb, and
Yeah, it does.
yeah, Dwayne Johnson should have been in Jay Statham's role, because that would have got my.
I guess we'll just have to see what happens. But honestly, the thing, I didn't even know this film was coming out this year. I guess it is. It's called Happy Time Murders. Have you guys ever heard of this film?
No.
I have not.
Look, this film I've been tracking for a couple years now, and it looks like it's coming out at the end of the summer season. It has Melissa McCarthy, Elizabeth Banks, Maya Rudolph, and Joel McHale. I'm usually not the biggest Melissa McCarthy fan, but since her husband isn't directing her in this film, I'm actually on board. It's directed by Jim Henson's son, Brian Henson, and it's about when the puppet cast of an 80s children's television show begins to get murdered one by one. A disgraced LAPD detective turned private eye puppet takes on the case. So it's a world where puppets are real. It's a rated R comedy. 100%. There's no trailer for it yet, but really look up the concept. Look up what they've actually shown at CinemaCon and stuff. It is a great concept. I love the concept.
That sounds amazing. It's like Feebles meets Death to Smoochie. Fuck yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And it is a hard R-rated.
Oh, so it's like 22 Jump Street meets Muppets.
Pretty much. But yeah, I wanted to at least bring up that film before the end of the summer, because that really is for me the last big summer comedy kind of thing that's nice to have in there. Any other things you guys want to talk about this summer? Anything?
I have one. It's a really, really horrible movie that more than likely is going to be horrible, but I want to talk about this Happy Time Murders. Honestly, I could not be more. I completely forgot about this, because I remember they were over the past couple of years, they talked about this on Collider. I mean, they've been talking about this for a little while.
For years.
I mean,
for years. That's why this is why I'm excited for the end of the summer. It's a great comedy. Hopefully it's good.
I mean, I completely forgot about this, but I mean, a rated R comedy with Muppet type creatures and a detective and Melissa McCarthy and Joel McHale. And I mean, I absolutely love Joel McHale. I think he's a very, very funny guy.
Absolutely. Community, fantastic show.
Yeah, if you guys haven't,
I love Community, so good.
But this film, yeah, I could not be more on board. What about you, Jay?
It does look awesome. It's just kind of
puppets. It's puppets.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah.
Rated R puppets.
I mean, if you guys have never seen I think it's Team America or Team Action. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? It's by
Team America, World Police.
Yeah, Team America, World Police.
You guys have never seen this film. That film it's fucked up, but it is funny. It is
it has a puppet shitting on another puppet.
Yes. And you will never see that in any other film. But guys, I think that's where we're going to cut it off for the summer box office preview, kind of seeing what films are coming out for the summer. I mean, there are so many great films coming out this summer, and I think this is going to be a good summer. If you look at my Twitter, I actually talked about what Rotten Tomatoes scores, and I think each film's going to get. I think it's going to be a fairly decent year for the summer box office. Besides Jurassic World, I think that's every one of us is really on board with the same type of thing. All of us thinking these are going to be some pretty fun films. But overall, this was a ton of fun. But I do want to give another shout out to Jay Vaters. Thank you so much, man, for joining us on the summer box office. It was great having you. So tell the people where they can find you at.
All right, I'm Jay Vaters. You can find me Jay Vaters on YouTube. Again, do the movie reviews, do the top 10s, do the rankings, all the things the cool kids are doing. Yes, check me out, Jay Vaters on YouTube. Also check me out on Facebook if you want to talk to me in person. And yeah, check me out. Join the dark side.
Awesome, man. Thank you again, Jay. It's great having you. Hope to have you back on here again, maybe to discuss some debating on Warcraft.
All right, it'll be a 6-hour show.
Yes, a 6-hour show or more. But of course, my great co-host here, Cody Curtis. Tell them where they can find you at, and also let them know what's coming up for our channel.
All right, absolutely. So, guys, first of all, you guys can find me over on Twitter, _Cody_Curtis. You can find me there on Instagram too. And if you want to talk to me, just message me. Also, you guys can find me right here on YouTube. It's just type in Cody Curtis, should be the first name that pops up. I talk about movies. I love doing the Sweet Film Podcast. And Zach and I, man, we have a bunch of stuff coming up for you guys. And just so you know, we remembered that back a little while ago when we had the Sweet Film Awards, we were talking about Entertainment Wars coming up. Well, guys, we are planning on shooting the first episode of this next month in June. So we hope you guys are ready for that. Also, there is something big we got planned for you guys. Can't exactly say when it'll be officially released and produced. However, we will say that once we get it off the ground, we're pretty sure you guys are gonna love it.
Absolutely. It's gonna be a great time, guys. Make sure to go subscribe, go follow them on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, all that type of stuff. Go above Jake Vaters about how Warcraft is a better film. And of course, guys, seriously, I want to make sure to guys hit that like and subscribe button if you guys are listening to us on iTunes or SoundCloud or whatever kind of social thing you're listening to us on. Make sure to leave a rating. That really does help us out. Of course, you guys can find me at Zach Pope Reviews on YouTube, at Twitter, at Pope the King. And of course, until next time, guys, you guys make sure to stay classy and have a sweet day.